Where the hell did I write that? Thought it was in this tablet, but I guess it wasn't, boyo.
Go find the other tablet, bro. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Monday Night Marks. It's your two dudes with attitudes.
Oh, yeah.
Two chaps with straps. I'm your boy Lil Q. This is Hollywood. What's up, Hollywood?
What's up, what's up, what's up?
So today, it's been, I don't know, what was our last episode? Like a week ago, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, we kind of took last week off.
But yeah, we took a little vacation, but we're now on Retromania's Podbean, so shout out those guys. They've
Heck yeah!
So we let that breathe a little bit. Let the audience expand a little bit. Thanks y'all if you're listening now and you're listening via Podbean, we appreciate it. But yeah, we got the In Your House 3 triple header review.
Huge
Triple header. Dude, so this show, right? The runtime was a minute 54 when I saw it, just off the bat, and I was like, immediately like, thank God. Like when I saw that.
Oh, you mean an hour? 54?
Yeah. I was just like, dude, like there's no way I can. There's no way I was gonna be able to take like 3 hours of this, but I forgot. Back in the day, things weren't that long. But so we got attendance of 5,146 people.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad. It's not good.
Yeah. Small crowds for the big two companies.
Especially because I can't imagine them charging more than like $15 for regular seats or something like that. I don't know, man. Vince has got to be like, dang,
Yep.
Buy rate 0.7, which actually is not too shabby, I feel like, for this time. And we are in Wendler Arena, Saginaw, Michigan, on September 24th, 1995.
I thought we were in the Saginaw Civic Center.
I don't know. It's probably the same thing. It's somewhere in Saginaw, guys.
We're definitely in Saginaw.
We know we're in Saginaw, but it's one of the arenas. I just noted this. I think you guys know this if you've been listening, which I'm sure you have been. Personally, I would not have bought the pay-per-view. So I put that. There's nothing that really appealed to me. But, me and Hollywood are going to suffer through this for you guys. For the entertainment.
I mean, you could watch it with us and share in the misery, but if you don't want to, we'll make the sacrifice.
Yeah, you might be better off playing a video game and just listening, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly, that would be okay. You can actually listen to us on Spreaker or Apple iTunes or
Spotify,
Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or you can check us out on Retromania. That's right,
Retromania, brother, or YouTube. Actually,
shout out Dave, shout out Colby,
shout out Dave, shout out Colby. Also, shout out AC,
shout out AC. Thanks, brah.
Shout out White House, just in general,
and Joe White, because why not?
Because he's the goat.
He's the goat.
Shout out DJ Stames also.
Also,
he doesn't exist anymore. I feel like.
And Steamtown Stunna.
Yes, the goat, the real goat. All right, but
anyway,
so the show. Let's get to the show because
let's get to it.
We got some details.
Yes, we do. So this is going up against the WCW pay-per-view, which was
Fall Brawl.
Mm-hmm.
And
Fall Brawl War Games
was a dope pay-per-view.
Yes,
there were definitely if you guys listen, that was 2 episodes ago, I guess. Yeah, right. 2 episodes ago. Our episode 3. We actually thoroughly enjoyed that. There's definitely, with every wrestling show, there's spots, where it's, uninteresting. But thoroughly was a fun watch, and exciting, and had the best promo of all time. But you go check that out for details.
Absolutely.
But so yeah, this is against Fall Brawl, and it's built off of, like you guys know because you've been listening, but it's built off of the triple header, the big Michaels and Diesel versus Owen and Yoko for all the belts. So yeah. So I guess we open here and we got a hype package. It's just hyping the triple header. We have JR, and I was hyped for this, dude.
Yes, first time we see JR.
Lawler and Vince growling. We got
No cowboy hat, by the way.
No cowboy. This is like JR with hair era.
Mm-hmm.
We get Shawn Michaels will be defeated, Lawler says, and JR says Yokozuna will become champ. And I just put Vince is really hard to understand, so I don't know. he's so Vince. But yeah, then we go to match 1. We got Savio Vega. I don't know, like, if this is early in his run, maybe it is, but yeah, I was kind of excited to see him, surprisingly.
Yeah, I think in his in these few weeks, did they say somewhere along, or maybe even on this pay-per-view, that he just debuted, like he recently debuted?
Yeah, well,
I want to say they showed a clip package.
Well, I think he debuted as that, like, he was under a mask. I forget his name. Oh, what was his name, dude? It was something stupid. And then he changed to Savio Vega.
Okay.
But, so we got him against Waylon Mercy. AKA, you mentioned this last week, that he is, like, was supposed to be the Bray Wyatt before Bray Wyatt, right?
Yes. So this is a little bit of egg on face. Old school blading for truthers out there know that I used to do egg on face when I would screw something up.
Right.
I have a little egg on face because I think I said on one of our shows here that I think Bray Wyatt's song was intended for Waylon Mercy. That is not true.
Right, yeah.
So there's the egg on the face.
He comes out to a different song, but the gimmick's the exact same. So
yes, I did the research, and apparently Spivey, who is Waylon Mercy, Dan Spivey, he actually worked with, well, first off, when he was in WWF the first time, Rotunda and Barry Windham were the U.S. Express.
Okay.
Windham Rotunda left, went back to WCW, and Spivey took his place in U.S. Express.
Okay. I also know that
putting the names together, Windham Rotunda, that is literally Bray Wyatt's real name, Windham Rotunda.
That's crazy, dude.
Which is crazy, right? Spivey comes in, and then years later, he actually helped Bray Wyatt develop the character.
Which is crazy to think about.
Yes. That's insane.
It really it goes full circle. But, I mean, you got to remember Wyatt came in as Husky Harris and whatnot, and he had to rebrand. Right. So I wonder, like, it's just crazy that, like, he ended up actually helping him. Because it really is, like, the same gimmick, but he didn't. I would say, like, this is the thing about Waylon Mercy, is, like, it's a different time period. It's 15 years earlier. Mm-hmm. So he didn't have the technology to pull it off, like, with the cool lights. He didn't have the cool song to pull it off. He didn't have, like, he just didn't, like, it was not, like, very well prepared as far as, like, being able to pull it off, you know?
Well, that's part of it, too. But I think, like, when you see Cape Fear, the movie, it's a great movie in the 90s. Bray Wyatt, they said, was kind of influenced by that. But the influence is coming directly from Waylon Mercy, because if you go watch Cape Fear, and maybe you should because De Niro was amazing in it, he'd wear the shirts. Waylon Mercy looks just like him and acts just like him.
Right.
So this is kind of like the typical, like the way I'm viewing this, typical Vince McMahon, he's taking that character directly and putting it on Waylon Mercy and naming it Waylon Mercy. Right, yeah. So it's not like it's like really evolved. It's a parody, basically.
It's like how Razor's basically Al Pacino from Scarface.
Yes,
it's the same thing, right?
Exactly.
And how Jean Pierre Lafitte is like Captain Hook from Peter Pan. Same thing.
Yes.
But yeah, so we get Waylon Mercy, aka Dan Spivey. So we go to like a weird promo. He's kind of like pre-match. Mercy's like smashing worms or smushing worms, and it's like it's kind of Bray Wyatt before Bray Wyatt. Like the promo's weird. And also Mercy's undefeated up until this point. So the commentators made a good job to mention it. So we get to the ring. There's a handshake. Waylon Mercy tries to sneak attack, but dude, he's so slow. He is so slow, dude.
Yeah.
I literally
shot at this point in his career. He's shot.
Like you can tell he suffers from like 2010 Kevin Nash disease, where his knees are just not able to walk anymore.
Yep.
Like he can't get his legs up. Period. Like it takes him a while to get over it. And I think that it's good he worked with Savio, because Savio is like known to be a pretty good worker. Mm-hmm. But like, dude, it's pretty hard to watch. like as much as I can get invested in his character, this match is tough to watch because he can't really move.
Yeah, it sucks too because he has the size and he's wearing the white. He has the white wife beater and white pants, and he just looks big and he had the look, he had the size, but yeah, he couldn't go.
It just Vince would have been better off like getting a guy 15 years younger at this point and doing it for him. Like, it sucks because Spivey, I'm not saying Spivey didn't have the talent, it just came at the wrong time for him.
Right, yep, exactly.
But yeah, so Vega takes the early control. Savio's chopping outside, and there's a body slam. I think Waylon body slams him outside. There's like the worst slingshot ever or something. It's like dude, what's it called? Austin used to use that as a finisher in WCW. What's that called? I can't remember the name of it. It's something shot. Like when he holds him and he falls and the guy hits the ropes with his neck. You know what I'm talking about? Is it a slingshot? On the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay, it is a slingshot. Okay.
That's what I would call it. I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. So
maybe a historian would be able to correct us, like Dave Goldenblue from Retromania podcast.
Brother.
Which you can hear us on now. But go ahead.
Yes. Anyway.
Yeah, go with the slingshot.
So the slingshot, right? And Doc Hendricks comes up mid match and says, Owen Hart is just not here. And immediately I'm like, sick. Like, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Like, why would you sell a pay-per-view based off of this fact? But we'll get to that later, guys. Don't worry.
Very weird story thread throughout this show.
Yes, and unneeded. But dude, we'll get to that.
Okay.
But it's all Waylon Mercy. He hits a sleeper hold. Savio Vega regains control. Suplex after another sleeper. Mullet Kyoto as ref. This is when I found out Mullet Kyoto was ref.
Yes.
Super young Mullet Kyoto.
Mm-hmm.
Savio comes back with a big boot, and he hits a near fall. Surprisingly awesome Savio Bulldog. And then I put the worst pinfall attempt ever, and Mercy doesn't kick out, but it's a 2. And then I put Mercy kills Vega after the worst brain. Either this is what I put: either the worst brain buster ever, or a suplex botch, because it was like caught in the middle of like, was he supposed to slam him on his head? Mm-hmm. Like, was he doing an Eddie Guerrero brain buster, or did he just couldn't get him up?
Yeah, I thought he was going for the brain buster, but I can't be sure.
It's tough because of how little of a knees he has. And then spinning heel kick for Savio, and Savio wins in 7 minutes and 6 seconds. And to me, after I saw Waylon lose here, I was like, okay, I think Vince is starting to realize, because he was undefeated. I thought immediately, okay, Vince, I think, realizes that he's kind of at the end of his career and it's not going to work. Yeah, which is unfortunate, as we already alluded to. But yeah, first match. Yeah. It was kind of trash, I got to be honest.
Yeah. The most interesting thing that was in this was the cut-in, Doc Hendricks in the back. Owen's missing. Okay, at this point, I'm thinking, why are we tinkering with the main event? That was my thought. I'm like, what are we doing? This isn't Raw. This is like the pay-per-view now. Why are we doing this? And this is a recurring theme throughout the night because they threaded it like it was a TV show on a pay-per-view. I don't understand why.
Super dumb, bro. Super dumb. Because they obviously we're gonna tell you guys about this, but actually the next segment is about this. But it's just like yeah, I guess I'll just go into the next segment so we can talk about it, because that match was just a case of Waylon Mercy can't move.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it's just that, and like Savio, as good of a worker as he is, or as much as his peers like him, it's like it is what it is. But yeah, so we go into the next. Cornette is backstage telling Gorilla, who is the commissioner, that Owen isn't here. I don't see him. President,
not commissioner,
right,
president.
Right, okay.
Right.
Well, because Jack Tunney used to be president, remember? President Jack Tunney.
Oh, who could forget?
But yeah, we go to Cornette telling Gorilla Owen isn't here. I don't see him. He goes, I don't see him, because Cornette says he's here. And he goes, well, he's not here, but like he's here. That's what Cornette says. And Gorilla basically says the triple header has to go down regardless. And he talks about the fact that Cornette can get a partner, but like Gorilla has to sanction it, whatever. So it's like Cornette's saying Owen is here, but this shouldn't be happening anyway, because like Owen should actually just be wrestling in the main event. Because I'm just salty at this point, and we barely even started the show.
I know. So, yeah, I think he said something like, well, he's in the state. We know that, but he's just not here.
Yeah.
And at this point, you figure, okay, why? Why is this necessary? Like, I don't understand why you're going to toy with the main event here. Like,
yeah, and I thought it, like, even watching this, I'm like, you know what? This could be like, okay, maybe they're doing something chill. Like, maybe they're just messing with, like, maybe it's just heels beating heels. But once we hit the main event, you guys will know that it doesn't actually affect anything. So, like, I'm already salty, dude.
Payoff was just not worth. Okay, let's not jump ahead here. But at this point, I'm thinking to myself, okay, they did a cut in on the first match, and then they kicked it right back to the back. I'm thinking to myself, okay, wherever this is going, I think it would have been better served to do it on Raw to build for the pay-per-view and maybe just leave it hang to whether you don't know. Like, if they would have done like, oh my God, Owen's stuck in Canada at the border. Is he going to show up on Sunday?
It would have been at least, which is funny because they're in Michigan, so they're bordering Canada.
Right. But Owen can't get there for some reason. Like, if you're going to do that, okay, but we'll get there. But the payoff was just
but even that, like, Cornette, like, he doesn't even say, like, it's not even like element of surprise because Cornette's literally telling us, like, he's here, but he's not here, like, in the locker room right now with me. So it's like, it's just like, what are they doing once again? Vince, like, as many things as he got right, dude, did he it's a case of, like, you can tell that he had a lot of people around him saying the right things.
Oh yeah. And
like,
this is exactly why, like, stuff like this, from what I remember, is the reason it got so bad and people started turning it off, and then you enter Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara. And this is why right here.
And I don't even think Cornette's on the booking team yet, because I don't
think he is.
I think he said he was on. From what I remember, he said he was on the booking team from early to mid '96 to late '97. Like, he basically was there till right after the screw job. But it was like for only like a year or so. So I'm assuming it's just Vince right now and Pat, and then you got the Clique doing their thing. But yeah. So already we're just off to a bad start.
Yes.
So we got Psycho Sid is the next match versus Henry Godwin, who is
Henry O. Godwin.
Henry O. Godwin. God.
Dude, did you notice something about his name?
No.
Okay.
Like,
he's a hog farmer. He's the hog farmer from Arkansas.
I want to punch you because it's, like, stupid. Like, I want to take my rage out on Vince into you right now.
It spells H-O-G, bro. It's a hog.
Oh my God, I love it. I hate it, but I love it. Like, this is one of those things where I'm like, Vince, you idiot, but oh my God, you're such a genius. But he's not, because it's like elementary school stuff. Yes. Like it's something like my 2-year-old cousin would come up with.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Before you get into the match breakdown, I got to say, and I got to ask you this. I'm kind of impressed with Henry O. Godwin's work in this match.
Dude, same. He's huge too. He's huge and fast.
Very athletic.
Do you know who he becomes?
Yes, I do.
Midian, right?
Yes. And
do you know that he is best friends with The Undertaker? He's like he was big BSK guy.
Yes, he was one of the
Both
BSK.
Of the Godwins were,
but I didn't realize at the time, like, I don't remember him even when he was Midian. I don't remember, like, I jotted down just his punches, his athleticism, his DDT was nice, the slop drop. Because he's a hog farmer from Arkansas, H-O-G.
Right. H-O-G.
Yeah, I don't remember him being this good. I thought he was pretty damn good in this match.
But that's the thing, like, that's one of the things that, like, as we, you know, like, because at the time you were what, like, I don't know, you were what, like 15? No, 17 or something, right?
Bro, where are we at? 95.
Yeah. Were you?
Bro, your boy's 18 years old. He's having a good time right now.
Like, you're not watching it from, like, a nerd perspective of, like, oh, his work's good. You're watching it like, oh, this dude's a hog farmer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so you're not paying attention. So at the time, like, you could tell, like, unless you're a big nerd, you're not into it. Like you can't tell he's good, basically. Just like, because now you know what I'm saying.
Well, it was probably I didn't give a crap about him at the time because he was
a hog farmer. Right, exactly.
And it didn't make me mad. I just didn't give a crap.
So exactly right. Also, if you hear my dog barking, it's fine. Ambiance. So we got in the match, we got Goodwin dropped milk. Basically, this match was built because Sid, Goodwin dropped milk on his face. Slop. I don't know if it's milk. Slop.
Yeah, slop.
It's slop on Psycho Sid's face on Superstars. So not on Raw. So we didn't see it. But dude, this match is a 4-day build. It's like boom, here we go. And I put literally, is it the slop vomit? Or, like, what is the slop? Like, what do you think the slop is? If you had
well, him being a hog farmer from Arkansas.
Yeah.
I would think that it was pig slop, like where you feed the pigs.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely looked like a cross between puke and whatever they had at catering 3 days prior. They just, like, somebody puked it out and saved it.
Beans and puke and milk or something.
Yeah, it looked disgusting.
But which is good. They're doing their job.
Right.
I feel bad for Sid that he has to take it over his face because I'm not doing that. Imagine Bret. Imagine him coming to Bret. I have too much pride to take that. You know what I'm saying? He would. There's farmer. No hog farmer. Pirates and hog farmers. What do you think of Vince?
I didn't know hog farmers existed.
Up in Calgary, we just go in the dungeon and Stu just stretches us.
We just call them farmers. Not hog farmers, HOG. I see what you did there, Vince. Very funny. I can't do a Bret, but, you know. You can imagine it.
General Bret, yeah. And I don't remember who it was because I didn't write down who it was. And keep in mind, the guys were reviewing this after, like, not seeing him for, like, a week maybe. But I think it was Vince goes, looks like someone lost their lunch when referring to the slop. Which this is what added to my vomit thing. It's like, it's probably vomit. I don't know. But
and that's the other thing too, by the way. I have to throw this in. This is September of '95, right?
Right.
Like, this is like the height of the grunge movement, right? Like, Kurt Cobain isn't alive at this point anymore, and he's still doing things like when people look back at this time period, they think, oh, it was so cheesy in America. No, it was cool. But he's going, oh, look, it looks like somebody lost their lunch, pal.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Dude, it was just lame. Like,
but even think it's weird. It's like he degressed. Like, people think the 80s were cheesy, but he had like Macho Man was a legit character. Like, Jake the Snake was a legit ice cold character. Hogan was at least like real to the point where he was a legitimate tough guy. Like, the Hart Foundation were like serious. Like, everybody they had in the 80s were like serious to an extent. Like, you had Rick the Model Martel, which is a gimmick, but it's not because he actually thinks he's like a beautiful person model, right?
Right.
So, like, even every stupid gimmick they had, it's like they still brought in parts of their, you know, like, personalities to make it look good. This is like, Vince is like, you're gonna be a pirate, you have to act like a pirate. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, if you're gonna be a hog farmer, you gotta act like a hog farmer, like, to a T. There's no creative anything there.
No.
So, but I think that's because, you know, back in the 80s, everyone was sort of a star to a certain point. So I think they were able to be like Henry Godwin has no political pulling strings there.
Right.
Like, he has to just do his job. But if you're Steamboat, like, you're like, I'm one of the best workers in the world, Vince. Like, I'll do my job, but also I'm not going to put up with BS, basically. But everybody here, other than Shawn, Razor, Diesel, and Bret right now, have to just do their job. So, like, if you're anywhere in the mid card, you have to be the worst gimmick of all time, pretty much. Right. But yeah, into the match, I put both guys are actually ginormous, so it was kind of cool. Even though this is like a stupidly built match, and it's Psycho Sid versus a hog farmer, and like, it's kind of cool seeing how big they are. Like you said, Godwin is especially surprisingly huge.
Yeah.
So Godwin gains actually the early control, sending Sid outside. Godwin suplexes Sid and hits his injured back. He tries a body slam but drops Sid, and Sid knees him. Outside, DiBiase kicks him, and Sid hits an axe handle, which I thought was kind of wild. I've never really seen Sid just fly in general, except for the time he viciously broke his leg in WCW, which I thought he just never really did anything. Also, Lawler at one point says Sid has the tenacity of a weed, and I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? I'm like, is that a direct quote? I'm like, what are you even trying to say right now? And Vince goes, the hog farmer in such a weakened state. And I just thought that was kind
of my God. It's so bad.
Because he's trying to get us to believe it. It's
right.
oh my God. It's not even like JR right now calling AEW trying to get us to believe it. But you can tell he's kind of annoyed because a lot of it's BS. It's like Vince is legit trying to sell us on the hog farmer.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly what he was doing. He's trying to sell the hog farmer.
Oh my God. It's
unbelievable.
But Sid it's literally the story of the match is Godwin's back's not doing well. So Sid's pummeling the back. Sid hits camel clutch. Godwin fights back. Sid kills the momentum. There's another camel clutch. Basically the same thing happens. So that took up like 4 unneeded minutes of the match.
Yes.
Like those 2 spots. Godwin fights back, hits a stinger. You see it's like basically the Scorpion death drop, like Stinger's reverse DDT.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was like, interesting.
Slop drop.
Yeah, slop drop.
Scorpion slop drop.
Yep. Scorpion slop drop. Imagine there's a scorpion in the slop. That's why it's
oof. Can you imagine?
Yikes. So we
looks like somebody lost their lunch. Oh,
so
dude.
bad, dude.
Seriously, when I heard him say that, I was like, it's 95.
Yeah. Bro, you know, dude, Blink just dropped Cheshire Cat.
Right. Exactly.
Think about that. Bro, Melancholy's being made currently. Actually just came out. It's like everyone's like, it's a serious day. It's a serious era in pop culture. It really is.
Right. Yeah.
And I wasn't even alive, and I know that. He was alive throughout the whole thing, and he didn't even understand that. So I don't know what he's talking about. But yeah, Godwin, there's the near fall. DiBiase pulls him out, big heel. I actually was surprised the crowd got really hot for this. Like they
did. Yeah.
They were very like, I was surprised maybe Don Man was this over at the time. Because let's be honest, let's see, on WrestleMania 3 was like 87. And I feel like he was Andre's manager at the time. Like, so he's relevant 8 years later than he should be, pretty much. I know he had a couple like good, like obviously he was still pretty relevant to like 92-ish, but Godwin goes for a rope move and DiBiase pulls his foot, yeah, and then Sid hits an awesome. I actually love Sid's powerbomb, dude. I would argue it's my favorite powerbomb.
It's a nice powerbomb.
I love the jackknife, but Sid's powerbomb is pretty sexy.
Yes, it is.
And he gets the 1-2-3 in 7 minutes and 23 seconds. And yeah. So, but after the match, there's some more bullshit that it doesn't need to happen. Like,
okay, so after the match, right, Ted and Sid are arguing over the slop bucket, and the crowd is hot, and then out comes Bam Bam Bigelow, right?
Which, by the way, Bam Bam, I kind of always mark out for him just because
I do too.
Yeah,
he's one of my favorites from that era. And then Kama comes out, and then Ted is going to slop Bam Bam.
Right.
But up gets the hog farmer, Henry O. Godwin, takes the slop bucket from Ted and puts the slop on Ted. Mm-hmm. And this is just like antics at this point.
This is like 1983.
This is bad. This is bad. This is like bad. This is bad. Like this is beyond, like, I'm just, as I'm saying that and repeating it, I'm thinking to myself, 83? I don't think it was this bad in 83. Like, this is worse than the PG era. This is like, really bad stuff. They're fighting over a slop bucket. They're selling it like it's
like when they get hit with the slop bucket, it's like they just got power bombed from the Titantron into like 500 tables. And it's just like, dude, it's like once again, it's 1995, Vince. You didn't even do this in the 80s. You had Jake the Snake bite Macho Man with a snake in the 80s. You didn't, like, it's like, what is he thinking? And why isn't anyone telling him, like, dude, this is really bad? It's like,
and obviously this is his, like, idea to push Henry O. Godwin.
With the slop.
Like, he's getting over with this slop bucket. Like
imagine.
It's a shame, too, because the guy has talent. Like...
Yeah, and like think about it this way, right? It's like, guys, like for all you listeners, because I know Hollywood knows this. What's the point of pushing a person to make them eventual world champion? You think a dude with suspenders and a slop bucket is going to hold the WWF World Championship? It's like, what is he thinking? Oh my God, dude. And like you said, it's antics. There's no reason for this to even happen. The match was bad enough. The match before that was bad enough. We're already promised no Owen Hart tonight. So let's just so we're 0
main event screwed.
We're 0 for 4 at this point. The only good part about the show so far was I saw Bam Bam Bigelow. That's it. That's the only good part of the show.
Pretty much.
And also, what's the relevance, dude? This is what we've seen. What? So this would be episode. So we've seen 2 Raw episodes, and was Kama or Bam Bam even remotely related to DiBiase or any of this?
Okay, so this is the only thing, and again, it's a bad idea, but they made mention during the match that I guess Godwin was with DiBiase at some point.
Right.
So this is, a part of the story. He wanted Godwin to do something for him. Godwin refused or whatever. He broke away. I don't know how long he was with Ted DiBiase, but Kama is with Ted DiBiase, if you remember.
Yeah.
From the tag match we saw with him and Tatanka. Yeah. So I guess that's what it is.
I try to block that out because he almost killed what's his face, Bob Holly. But
yeah,
So but still, like, I don't even guys. I don't even. Like, you guys better appreciate what we're doing because you should never have to watch this. Like it's just it's so it makes zero sense. Nothing is believable, like, up until this point. And I'm not saying wrestling has to be believable, but at least it should be taken a little bit seriously.
Yeah, not to mention Savio went over Waylon Mercy in the first match. We have Sid going over Henry Godwin here.
Right.
Godwin gets the last laugh with the slot bucket. This is a pay-per-view. Like, people paid money for this right now.
Yeah. If I paid
We're a half hour in or something like that.
So, for all you guys that don't know, Hollywood and I, back in the day when we actually still watched WWE, we would always watch all the pay-per-views together. And if this was us in person, we would have immediately just started eating stressfully and been like, dude, why did we just pay $50 for this? Because it's so silly and stupid. It's just like, oh my god, it's like it makes you the PG era looks so much better than this. And this is another thing too. Like, we can't go on a complete tangent, but this is another thing too. Like, because you and I both love Nash. It's like people give Nash shit because he was the least money making champion of the era. Right. But just watching, we've already only watched 3 WWF shows from this time. It's like, no shit, bro. There's nothing going on around him. It's like, even they book him to be cheesy. They book the entire mid card to be stupid and not believable. And it's like, no one's ever gonna buy tickets or pay per view for this. Like, it's just you know what I'm saying? It's just fast.
Yeah, maybe it's because they pull one of his opponents out of a main event. Right. On the show that he's supposed to be main eventing with him,
and there's no way he could have been happy about that. There's no way. None of Shawn and Diesel were probably both like, yo, this is dumb.
Well, good segue, because now we go back to the back again.
Right. So we
got Corny.
Yep. Doing the same
Doc
thing.
Hendricks and Gorilla doing the same thing that they did in the previous.
But Gorilla clarifies it here. Like, he actually lays out the rule. So there's like 2 basic rules. Yoko is going to defend both belts, and Cornette has the opportunity to find a new tag partner. And Gorilla will sanction whoever this is.
For one night only.
One night only.
Yeah.
But, so basically, say he pulls just anyone. Let's just say Lafitte for, whatever. So he pulls Lafitte. If Lafitte pins him, it's just the same rules goes. Like, Lafitte can be IC champ or WWF champ.
Right.
So it's just basically it's a literal just fill in for Owen. Same rules apply. But Cornette says, he goes, I can't pull someone just out from my armpit. He goes, and then they just go on and banter a little bit, and he's like, all right, I'll find somebody, basically. So that was just kind of clarifying, setting up more stuff. But they're still booking it, like you said earlier, like it's a Raw. But so, yeah, the format of the show is already awkward.
Yes, awkward, good word.
So immediately we go into a match 3, and dude, this is another thing I forgot about until right this second. So it's Bulldog versus Bam Bam, but Bam Bam, if you remember, was just out at the ring. Okay.
Yep.
But guess what? We get an entrance.
Yep.
So instead of him staying there, He probably walked back to the curtain for 2 minutes, sat at Gorilla. He's like, "Are you serious?" And Vince was like, or Gorilla was probably like, whoever was there, Pritchard probably was like, "All right, go ahead." So I'm like, all right, that's just stupid. Poor Bam Bam. He's like, it's dumb. It doesn't need to happen. But yeah, so into the match, Bulldog comes out, whatever. Bam Bam gets the early upper hand, hits like shoulder tackles. Also, once again, dude, here comes the side view. Like pretty much immediately, by the way. It didn't take long for the picture-in-picture. Cornette pops up, and he's talking to Sid. And there's no audio. Well, I think there is audio, but it's super like quiet.
Yeah,
it's
super
mainly,
low. You can't really hear them.
It's mainly Vince being like, "Oh, looks like he's trying to get Sid." Blah blah blah. So he's trying to get Sid to fill in. And then picture-in-picture fades, and then we go right back to the match. Bam Bam hip tosses to Bulldog, gets like a nice little scoop slam. Bulldog rolls out of the way of an elbow. Bulldog has the upper hand, suplexes Bam Bam, which I'm like, dude, this man is strong.
Yeah, he's good, man.
Like, no wonder why he basically died of overdose, because he got addicted to, like, painkillers for his back. Because, and this is a theme throughout, just, like, seeing him the last, like, 3, whatever. Dude, like, basically his entire getting over thing is that they just book him to suplex the most gigantic guys in the company. and he doesn't just suplex him, like, he does the big stalling suplexes. So he's holding, like, 400-pound Bam Bam up in the, you know what I'm saying? It's just, this dude is, like, stupid strong. But yeah, so he suplexes Bam Bam. Bam Bam no-sells it, though. Jumps right back up, hits a clothesline, and Bam Bam goes over the top rope because Bulldog ducks out of the way. Bam Bam reverses a suplex, and he does, like, a crotch spot on Bulldog where he suplexes him onto the rope. Bam Bam hits, like, the patented diving headbutt, which always looks dope. 2 count, and Vince goes, "Got him." Because you know how Vince is. God, a pow. The Bulldog gets the chop block. Starts working the knee now. Super long submission on the knee. Crowd starts chanting USA because it's 1995, and that's what they do if anyone's not from America.
So weird.
It's so dumb. Bam Bam comes back with an awesome enziguri, which at the time it wasn't called.
What a maneuver!
Yep, there it is. And I think it's called the Ghetto Blaster at the time, actually. And then Davey once again gets control of the knee, and he starts healing the knee hard. He gets like a one-legged Boston Crab.
Wait.
Oh.
I can't just gloss over that. So, yeah, made famous by Bad News Brown,
right?
Who's black, so his
Ghetto
move
Blaster
was the Ghetto Blaster. Get it?
Right.
See what Vince did there?
A little racist, just a teeny bit of gentrification going on. But it's fine because Vince could do whatever he wants. Because I think Owen used it as a finisher for like a couple years there when he was like the Rocket with suspenders, and I think they still called it the Ghetto Blaster.
Did they? So did they call it the Ghetto Blaster when back? Because I wrote down Enziguri.
See, I wrote down Enziguri too, but I don't think I just know from like it. I don't think it was called the Enziguri yet. I just know that like Ghetto Blaster.
Okay, it probably wasn't then.
Because I was watching, just in my free time, I watched like Mania 10 or something, Owen versus Bret, which by the way is like a phenomenal match.
Oh yeah.
And they call it the Ghetto Blaster in that match when Owen does it. So, but they didn't call it the Enziguri yet because I was definitely like a Jericho and Malenko and Guerrero like Japanese thing that they found, you know. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So basically, Vince is racist. Davey heals the knee, right, and then the Boston Crab. Bam Bam comes back. Bam Bam gets a 2 count. Sunset flip spot, which, dude, they recycle that in every match. The freaking stupid,
yeah,
like every match. And it's always, if you notice, it's always toward the end of a match. It's like the last, 3/4 of the match. Sunset flip spot. Bam Bam drops his butt right on him. And then he it's 2 count, and then he misses a moonsault, which I'm like, dude, this man, like, so pretty. The moonsault he does is so gorgeous. He misses that. Davey gets a 2 count. Flying headbutt, 2 count. Like, it's just basically it's a lot of near falls right here.
Right.
And then we go to Bulldog hits just a random scoops power slam, which is insane because it's Bam Bam. Like, he scoop power slammed this fool.
Mm-hmm.
I put dude is so strong for real, gets the 3 count in 12 minutes on the dot. And I actually like this match. I don't know. I thought this was a really good match.
It's pretty good.
I think it's just because the last two that we saw, but also Bulldog and Bam Bam are two of the heavy, like the better, workers at this time. So, in the company at least, because Waylon Mercy and Savio or whatever. Right. But yeah, like I actually enjoyed this one. I also like Bam Bam and Bulldog. So it was the first match where I was like, okay, like this is an okay wrestling match. I'm not saying it's by the pay-per-view worthy, but I'm like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah, I agree. But okay, so during the match, well, first we have the segment of the missing Owen segment in the back,
right?
And dude, I don't know if you caught this, but the first thing you see is Bulldog walking out to his entrance, and the announcers throughout the match are selling the main storyline for the night, right?
Yeah.
And I swear, like one of them said, Owen still may show up. And then somebody else says, or is this all a ruse by Jim Cornette?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay. And then towards the end of the match, they said, Bulldog is wrestling Undertaker on Raw tomorrow night. So he's going to need some momentum going into that match. And I'm thinking, okay, if I put those 5 things together, you may have spoiled it for me. But we'll get there.
Yeah.
But I thought that was an interesting choice to really sell during the guys' match. That
because if you're gonna do a surprise, just do the surprise. Don't talk about it the entire match. There's I get the fact that it's like your main event,
right?
But every single match. This is the third match of the night, and they didn't announce the thing, they announced the thing. But every match we've gotten some type of. Oh, there's Jim Cornette, trying to get someone. You know what I mean? It's just like, dude, you can lay off a little bit. Leave us hang. Don't keep going back to it. Let us in the back of our head wonder and make us want to watch.
Right, exactly.
You just drop breadcrumbs. Obviously we'll be able to figure it out eventually. Unless I'm 6, but 6-year-olds can't buy the pay-per-view anyway.
True.
So, yeah, this match was pretty good.
They also can't call the 900 numbers unless they get their parents' permission.
Exactly.
We don't talk about the 900s numbers enough on the show.
We don't, because there's a lot of 900 numbers. They try to sell everything.
So many 900 numbers.
Vince is so desperate just for anyone to call, just to buy the Shawn Michaels hat.
Or talk to Dean Douglas after his match.
Right. That's all. That's it. Because he needs the money, guys. Help out Vince. I wonder if
that they put on the screens too, this number is no longer in service.
Yeah, obviously. We know that. It's 25 years later. You guys don't have to put that. I should call it, actually. We should call it live.
Actually, we should, yeah.
And just see what happens.
Next 900 number we see.
Do you think it's Todd Pettengill or Doc Hendricks?
That'd be great.
And they're just this number's no longer in service. Or Gorilla even. That'd be dope.
What if it's Pettengill, but he's an old man now?
Yeah,
he's still sitting there answering the phone.
He actually has to answer him. He's he's getting paid minimum wage by Vince to do this. But anyway, so we get a Bob Backlund promo because apparently he manages Dean Douglas. First I've heard of it, but is what it is. So he goes at one point. He reads this lexicon, okay, about how people's got to learn. And at one point, before he starts reading it, he goes, "Try not to exasperate me," Backlund goes. And Vince goes, "I beg your pardon?" And Lawler goes, "Exacerbate." And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, so you're selling us on Pirates, but you're making masturbation jokes?
Right.
Just pick a side, dude. Which one do you want to do? Come on. So yeah, he hypes this lexicon, and he talks about how fans become dormant. But I don't know, dude. There's a bunch of stuff about just basically how him and Dean Douglas are smarter than everyone.
Right.
And he brings out Dean Douglas. So here we go. Douglas versus Razor Ramon, which has been, I would argue, the key feud on the last 2 Raws, because we didn't really get much of the main event feud till the end of last Raw. But this has been brewing for a while now.
Yep.
So I like the fact that Razor comes out and he immediately sprints to the ring. He's tried to get right to Douglas. Razor dominates early, and Douglas is doing the best impression of Ric Flair he possibly can with the begging stuff. Razor hip tosses Douglas out of the ring. It looked crazy. It was a crazy bump because screw that, dude. I'm not taking that bump. He just boom right outside. Cornette's, and then here we go again. They do the backstage thing, picture in picture. Cornette's trying to get King Mabel now. Like, no, for the love of God, please, if you're going to pick anyone, don't pick King Mabel.
Mabel and Yoko, though. I mean, that's
but
a good team.
which just means Shawn's going to just have to run around the ring and get killed for 20 minutes, and he's going to hot tag Diesel because the other two can't really move. But yeah, anyway, I was just not hoping for that. Obviously, I didn't want this anyway. But yeah, so now Cornette, you know, it's like, oh, is he going to get Sid or is he going to get Mabel? Blah blah blah. So Razor's working the Dean's arm, reversals, just chain wrestling. Douglas,
decent chain wrestling, by the way.
Yes, decent for sure.
Yeah.
Razor catches Douglas in an awesome fallaway slam. I love every time he hits that dude.
Mm-hmm.
And surprisingly, if you notice in just his last couple matches, he hits it a lot early in the match. It's not really like a finish.
Yeah.
Like
I remember it being like a setup move for the finish, but it really wasn't.
He does it a lot just to like get the crowd going or something. But I love the way it looks. So Razor works the arm on the apron. There's a rest hold. Nice pinning sequence between them. Douglas regains control and is slamming him outside, healing it up big time. Knee to the back into the steps, getting Razor's back. So Douglas top rope axe handle. There's a near fall. Great. They're just going back and forth really. There's another rest hold. Fans want Razor come back. Reverses the hold. Cool corner to corner and a backsplash. Razor hits this like nuts electric chair drop. And I was like, dang son, like there's some height on that. There's a reverse suplex into a reversal splash for like another Razor near fall. And then here we go. We're going right into the finish. This was a good match, by the way, up until this point.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
So Douglas pulls Razor into the ref, and we get a ref bump. I don't remember who the ref was. Could have been Kyoto. I think it was Tim White, maybe. I don't know.
It may have been Tim White.
Misses a splash, and then Backlund's distracting the ref. He's just kind of like rubbing his head. He's not really like, I don't know. But so Razor hits the Razor's edge. And out of nowhere, because the ref's distracted, keep in mind, he goes for the 3. 1, 2, 3 kid just runs to the ring, counts 3, and then him and Razor start fighting. And I'm just like, what is happening? And Douglas rolls Razor up for the win, and the real referee counts to 3 after Razor pushes Kid out of the ring. And JR immediately goes, what's going on? And I was like, yeah. That's how I feel too. Because I'm just like, I don't understand at all what like the point of Kid running in was, and also he was trying to do Razor a favor, but Razor got pissed and threw him out of the ring.
Like it's so stupid from the point of Kid to come out and count the 3. Like,
yeah, because
why?
Obviously
like,
that wouldn't be a win,
right?
It's like, oh, you pinned, like, no, because it doesn't hold up in like.
That's stupid. Yeah, this was a dumb choice, and it ruined the match because the match was pretty darn good.
And this was other than the main event. This is the only thing that's really been built on Raw recently. So it's like this was supposed to be our like feud ender or whatever, and all it did was just be dumb and not make any sense.
Like, I hope that on Raw, Razor calls him out for being an idiot. Like, why would he do that? Because the one thing I did like about it, like, I didn't like anything about it. So let's get that out of the way. But after he counted the 3, Razor kind of stood up, and before he like threw him out of the ring, he kind of smacked him.
Yeah.
Like to say, what the hell are you doing?
Like you are absolutely making no sense right now. Why would you do this? But it's like, why even have it? Honestly, Douglas should have just won with Backlund being a turd, and kept his heat as opposed to Kid running out. And you know what I'm saying? Like, just
like they could have got to the same place a different way.
Yeah, and not have Kid. Like, I'm okay with Kid and Razor coming into a feud, but you could have like done it maybe after the match where Kid comes out to try and help Razor, but Razor's frustrated or something. I don't know.
Well, I think they wanted Kid to cost Razor the match again, but like.
But
with Backlund being there, like, I don't see why not just take the easy approach and just have like,
yeah, exactly.
Backlund like help Dean, like tripped Razor or something. Xbox comes out to protect Razor and then somehow costs him with the roll up. Like, he could have caused the distraction, right, and it would have been his fault anyway. But no, they did this. I'm like, why on earth would Sean Waltman, 1-2-3 Kid, think that he could count the 3. It makes no sense.
Like that, he is literally the least sanctioned person to do that. Like he's
yeah, like character wise, he is stupid. Then
he's literally you are literally taking any brain power that 1-2-3 Kid has and just putting it and flushing it down a toilet right there.
So silly.
Because it's like,
God.
Oh my God. Also, you know what? Okay, so Vince, they show the replay and he's like, Douglas pulled the tights. I'm like, no, that's not the problem, dude. The problem is your booking. But anyway. So Kid and Razor are like fighting after the match, right? And they have to get separated. But Kid's doing like his like karate stuff, and he's kind of like egging him on, but instead he's just doing like the Daniel-san stuff. And he's like, oh, like come on, hit me, like blah blah blah. And yeah, they have to get separated by like 4 refs, and like Doc Hendricks maybe was out there, but yeah, it was stupid. They could, like you said, they could have got to the same place without having to do this 100%.
Yeah, but
instead it's Vince, so is what it is.
So weird, but hey.
They took
great pay-per-view. Glad people spent money on this.
Oh, dude, I just imagine if Twitter existed during this time.
Oh my God, they would get killed.
Bad, dude. It would be bad. So yeah, another decent match. Jake, that went from about like a 5 out of 10 to like a 2.
Yeah.
So congrats, guys. You're doing well, Vince. But after the match, we get a post-match video hyping the like Canadian. Was it In Your House, but they're going to be in the Canadian Rockies or something. And they say that Goldust is going to make his debut. So that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And then we go right to Doc Hendricks, who says the same thing about, that Goldust is going to debut. And he even does the Goldust thing. And he says he brings in Shawn and Diesel. And here comes the 1-800-TITAN-91. $25 Shawn hats. And by the way, they're only small and large. There's no medium. So if you got a medium-sized head, you just got to pick big or small. Mm-hmm. Shawn says that it's nutty that Owen Hart, isn't wrestling. Diesel says, "I smell a rat." These are just quotes. This promo does not. This promo is just cheesy. And then Diesel once again says 2 chaps with 4 straps while he's wearing a stupid Shawn hat that does not fit his head. But yeah, they're just talking about, the Owen and Yoko and that thing. And yeah, it's kind of cheesy. But Diesel alludes to the fact that he smells something fishy going on. Mm-hmm. So, just a little promo there.
Yeah, not that good.
No. It like once again, like I get the Shawn and Diesel haven't been on screen yet, but I don't know if it's necessarily needed. With a lot of things here. So we go to match 5, and I was actually really excited for this one. I forgot because I kind of forgot about this in the build because it was kind of built on superstars for the most part, it seems like. Mm-hmm. But we get Jean Pierre Lafitte, aka PCO, versus Bret Hart. Lafitte is already in the ring because of the promo, and he's wearing Bret's jacket. I thought that was dope.
That was funny. That was really funny.
And Bret backstage says he's like Captain Hook, and I'm like Captain Crunch, and I'm like, I don't think Captain Crunch is better than Captain Hook. Like, Captain Crunch is a cereal. Captain Hook's at least a legit villain, but it is what it is. And he says Pierre Lafitte will walk the plank, and that
was just bad.
It's just, oh man. What I did like though is kind of cool. Is he was like in Gorilla, and you don't really realize it. He was like in Gorilla for this promo, and he looks at the door when his music hits, and he walks, and the camera does like a follow thing. And it's just like, it's like cheesy Bret, but I'm just kind of like, as like the kid in me, I'm like, oh, this is dope. Like, Bret's so cool. You know what I mean? It's like,
I hear you.
Here he comes in his pink and black. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so the crowd, dude, they just lose their mind when Bret comes out because he's Bret.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we get to the match, and Lafitte is on the outside, and Bret suicide dives and almost kills himself a little bit, slightly. But
I was surprised at the suicide dive.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I forgot. I guess he did this kind of a lot.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff, like, you think, like, ROH kind of popularized in, like, 2004. Mm-hmm. But, like, dude, Bret, like, I can think about it after I saw this. I was like, oh, I guess he did kind of do that a lot. Like,
yeah, that's the first thing I wrote down. Bret suicide dive, ? But I put the question mark because I remembered him doing it after I saw him do it. But if you would have asked me who started doing it, I would have never said Bret Hart.
I feel like it was him because Shawn wasn't doing this.
I don't think so.
And it's like, yeah, so I thought that was cool. And he does it great, too, because he hits him. and he lands like he almost just died, but like in the best way possible. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, Bret is like oh my god, dude, I wish Bret wrestled today it's a shame his career ended because he is literally the smoothest in-ring guy
so
I've ever
damn
seen.
good.
He makes his punches look believable. Every time he sells, it's like he snaps everything, and he just like everything he does, dude, is so crisp. I wrote that down.
He takes those turnbuckles and doesn't turn around.
Oh my god,
he did it like 2 or 3 times in his match.
Oh my god, dude,
I cringe every time I hear it.
It looks like it's the worst thing ever.
Yep.
He's just so he totally changed the game, and I don't know why more people don't just be like, Bret, can you show me how you punch and sell? Because he makes everything look believable. Yep. Like he made me get invested in a match where he was facing a pirate. Like it's just he's so believable. He's the most believable wrestler I've ever seen. I think, as far as like making like, and I know most of it's just him stomping his foot, but everything he does looks good.
Yep.
So I put best punch.
Best there is, best there ever was, best there will be.
Yep. And Vince, speaking of that, Vince stumbles over the excellence of execution at one point. I don't remember exactly what he says, but he can't say execution right. But yeah, I put best punches in the world outside after the suicide dive, and Bret rips the jacket off and throws it. Bret is just kind of giving it to Lafitte, and everything Bret does is so crisp. This is when I put that note. Lafitte hammers Bret in the corner, and Bret just makes it look so good, dude. Everything he does, he's like it looks like he's like in the worst pain possible.
I know. I actually looked at this match, like I stared at it in awe, because this is the first match that on WWF side that really just made me stop thinking that I'm doing this for a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
because he's so good. It's. I'm not like saying Lafitte's garbage, but it's all Bret. Like
I gotta say though, I actually wrote JPL is ahead of his time, and I wanted to.
He is with the he is as far as athleticism goes.
Yeah,
but
and
Bret's,
being as big as he is,
right? But Bret's selling is what I think invested me.
Yeah, and two, like you can get back to the breakdown in a second, but I wrote down the match got clunky, but it looked real. Mm-hmm. Like there were some exchanges, like especially towards the end, like when they were, Irish whip clothesline. They weren't exactly like picture perfect.
Yeah,
but it gave you the feel. Like I don't think they did it on purpose, but it gave you the feel that it wasn't choreographed. Like they were really going at each other. You know what I mean? Like it was a really interesting match.
Bret is literally like, and I don't understand why nobody, AEW especially, because WWE, like they're okay with like storytelling matches currently. Bret, you can tell he comes into the match and him and the guy have talked about it.
Yes.
And he's like, dude, this is a story we're telling. I'm going to sell my ass off. We're going to pick a body part, and this is what we're going to do. And we're going to sell the shit out of this. And we're going to make everything look believable. Like, just trust me. I will make you look like you're amazing. Mm-hmm. And this is obviously we've seen other Bret matches, but this is the first Bret match we've seen just doing this podcast. But dude, you can tell that there is a clear story. It starts as soon as that bell rings.
Yep.
As soon as he hit the suicide dive, they're going through the story. And that's what you said. Even when it gets clunky, it's believable because they laid everything out to the point where, like, if it gets clunky, they can get back on track because Bret is so good.
Like, I don't understand. I know. I have visual pictures of Bret Hart being awesome. From the 80s, and 90s, 2000s, all of it. But seeing this, like, on an example of a show that had Bulldog Bam Bam was decent. Excuse me. Dean Douglas versus Razor was decent. But when you see Bret come out, it's like there's a difference in this match. And I don't understand why, like, ROH just had Marty Scurll. Whatever happened there. He's gone. And they bring back Delirious. Mm-hmm. Right? AEW has like 29 bookers and everybody on the roster is on creative. Whatever. I would shut that shit down and call Bret Hart. If I'm in ROH, I would shut that down and call Bret Hart. Like, why is Bret Hart unemployed right now? I don't care what he said in the past. I don't care who he's buried. I don't care what about his shoot interviews. I don't care anything about that shit. This is why Bret Hart is Bret Hart, and you could see it in this match.
Mm-hmm. And the thing that he gets shit on for is the fact that people say, like, even Nash, who, like, I've seen say, like, he takes the business too seriously. It's like, yeah, but what's the one thing in wrestling that's missing right now?
Exactly.
Seriousness.
It's needed.
He is the reason that people he is the X factor in making wrestling popular again, because once the Montreal Screwjob happened, everything turned around. And you know why? Because Bret took the business seriously, and Bret got people to believe the business was serious because he cared that much about it.
Yep.
He was the first person outside of TV to be like, I care about this too much to let this fly. And no one did that ever. And it's like you said, it's a crime he's not employed. I think I remember watching something where he said he went up to like Hunter and was like, if you guys need me, I will do whatever. Just like give me a contract. I'll road agent basically for your matches. And he's like, I don't know why no one's ever texted me. I don't know, like he's like, but if someone like called me right now, I'd be definitely interested. Like, I wonder, and part of it is like, I know he had a stroke and he has like a lot of emotional issues and like he has a lot of side effects from that.
Right.
But still, it's like, dude, like I've seen him talk and he's like, he's fine. Like he can lay out matches. He remembers all of his matches like to a T. You know what I mean? Like, but also, on WWE side, I've seen shoot interviews where he slandered Trips a lot. So I think that has something to do with it. But like, there's this one. I don't get too much on a tangent, guys, but there's this one where Trips is like, he said, he's like, if you look at Hunter, like, what has he ever really like done in the business? Like, did you ever see that? And he's just like, he's just going in on him like about the fact that like he doesn't know how to lay out a match. Like he only works with the people that know how to lay out a match type thing. But whatever. Sidebar that because Bret's the GOAT. But so Bret is just making everything back to the match real quick.
Yes.
Bret is just making everything look good on Lafitte. So Bret starts working the arm on the ground. There's a crucifix near fall, which I'm like, crucifix is dope to see always, because it's never really seen. And then they go back to working the arm. Lawler's beefing with Bret a lot, and I was like, are they building something? Like
yes, I thought the same thing.
So there's a clothesline by Lafitte working Bret on the ground. Bret reverses into a victory roll, which is a near fall. Lafitte back to hammering Bret. Bret runs into the post. Like shoulder first. He didn't do a sternum thing quite yet, but he hits the shoulder hard, and then he does it again. And once again, looks super believable. I'm like, I would not want to take that. And then after hitting the post twice with his shoulder, he does the sternum thing, and that's when you're right. I cringe every time when I see that, dude. I'm just like, oh my god, the sound it makes. I'm like, screw that, dude. So he sends Lafitte to the outside. And Lafitte throws Bret into the ropes. Bret hits a spine buster, near fall. Bret gets spine busted. Might be near fall. Bret fights out of a rest hold. Lafitte elbow to the face. Near fall after a dope Lafitte leg drop. Bret sunset flip into a near fall. Sidewalk slam from the Pirate. I can't believe he's the fucking Pirate, but it was Lafitte hits a dope. This is cool. So when he goes up to the top rope, Vince is like, he's gonna hit the cannonball, but instead he hits this dope looking awesome top rope leg drop, and he does the thing that you mentioned last week, that where like he looks like he's gonna fall, but he's actually just like in full control.
Yeah.
It looks so cool because it's like he's like, oh my god, I'm so big, but he's in full control and he like launches off that thing. And then, so after he hits that, he hits a near fall, and he goes back up to the top. Misses the cannonball by, like, a hair, dude. Like, Bret almost got hit by this. Like, Bret had the perfect timing on moving on this. He hits his patented atomic drop. And then Bret misses the sharpshooter attempt. And then, dude, this is when I was like, what the hell is, like, this is crazy. So, after this miss, Bret's on the outside. And Lafitte goes for his cannonball.
Awesome.
Which is essentially a swanton, guys, if you're not watching along with us. But it's basically a swanton. Over the top rope, Bret is nowhere, like, he moves out of the way, and he just eats shit on his back. It looks so rough, dude.
That's when I wrote JPL's ahead of his time, because that's a bump that you see today, like, guys taking.
On the indies especially.
Yes.
Like, he was doing this, like, and he's huge, too. He's, like, 300-plus pounds. He has to be. He's big, dude. Like, he launched him. Like, he didn't go half-ass. He went full, like, broken ribs 100%. Like, I remember looking at his face, like, dude, he definitely at least has the wind knocked out of him. Probably a couple broken ribs, but yeah, that was crazy. That was like icing on the cake for this match, because this match is great. But Bret throws Lafitte into the steps. Lafitte does the sternum bump and into a Bret Russian leg sweep. I love Bret's Russian leg sweeps.
Yes.
backbreaker. So he's getting his 5 moves of doom in here.
Yes, he is.
Second rope attempt, but goes right into the boot of Lafitte, and Lafitte does the slam where he like does a flip. I don't remember what it's called, but I was like, damn, like that's another thing. Like you said, he's above his time where he's like ducks and he does the flip.
Yeah.
Slams him over the head. So Bret reverses a power slam into a pinfall 2 count. Lafitte hits a knee and tries to use the ropes for a dirty pin. Bret hits a drop kick. Bulldog misses and hits the sternum bump again. And this time, dude, like Lafitte gave him some extra oomph on the push. And this time Bret nailed, I thought like he really nailed the corner. Rope break. And with the rope break, Lawler goes, Bret Hart's a coward. Because he didn't kick out, he rope braked. And then Bret gets caught in the ropes. Lafitte misses the top rope crossbody. And who got whose spot? Bret hits the sharpshooter. Lafitte passes out, I think, because I don't really see him tap. It didn't really matter because the match was dope. And it was basically like as soon as Bret got the sharpshooter in, Hebner called it. He was like, nah, he's done. Or Kyoto, I forget who it was. Yeah. And match ends in 1637. And I put, Bret is so creative with the way he lays out matches. Like some of the spots he did, you would never think would even make it in a match. And Bret, at the end of the match, takes his jacket back. Boom. He's got his jacket.
Jacket is back. Yeah, I think this is my... I'll save it to the end. This was a really good match.
Yes, it was. Easily the best match of the night. But,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Bret, dude, genius. He should be talked about more in the Ric Flair, Stone Cold, Rock, Hogan conversation.
Yeah, the Mount Rushmore conversation.
Like, yes, Shawn is Shawn. Shawn and Bret are honestly 2 different wrestlers. And you got to keep in mind, why did Shawn get so great? Because he wrestled Bret for 8 years. So, you got to keep that in mind. But I think there's definitely, like, I know as we continue this podcast, we're going to have a lot more, I think, conversations about why Bret Hart should be thought about as the GOAT. And just because, like, he is not the biggest guy, not the most charismatic guy, but as far as telling a story in the ring, like, I seriously saw this match and I was like, dude, there's no one I've seen, because you can tell, like, that's all Bret laying out a match.
Yep.
And it's just like, dude, you can tell he's the guy behind this, and you can tell it's just so good. I can't wait, honestly, because I forgot. Do you know what the next Mania main event is?
No.
Bret Shawn Iron Man.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I can't wait till we get there, because that's going to be insane. But yeah, dude, so good. So I guess next segment, we go backstage. Cornette decided to choose, who was it, Hollywood?
British Bulldog.
Davey boy. Monsoon clears it. It's all good. Clarifying the rules again. And yeah, off we go. They get ready for the match. But then we get this impromptu Alundra Blaze promo. Who, by the way, is she the woman champ? I think she is, right?
Yeah.
So she's the woman champ. And like we have yet to see her on Raw.
But I think at this time, though, it was just just kidding champ. Because there was, they didn't even have a division, I don't think, right now. They just
100%. I think she was the only person there that could wrestle, unless maybe like Aja Kong or like.
Yeah, they would bring one of them in. Yeah.
Every like 3 months or 4 months, probably. But yeah, so she's legit just walking around modeling a T-shirt, and then they're like, "Oh, what's that in the bushes?" And she grabs this cassette, and Vince marks out for the cassette. Also, they are over the intercom while they're doing this, dude. So the audio's screwed because they're talking to us, and there's feedback because they're also on the intercom. So the whole thing's just destroyed. Yeah. But yeah, so Yoko's music starts in the middle of this. I think whoever was in Gorilla was like, dude, just go.
Probably.
I'm done with this.
Probably.
So Yoko and Bulldog and Cornette come out, and Fuji. It's a whole big, it's a lot of dudes for, a tag team match. But they come out, and then Shawn and Diesel come out, and the crowd absolutely loses it for both of them, dude. Mm-hmm. Like you can tell they're super over. It's great so they're in the ring, the match is about to start, and when they're picking who's gonna wrestle, Shawn and Diesel do rock paper scissors shoe, and Shawn wins, so he starts the match. It's like perfect, like it's just funny. But yeah, so
that's what they do.
that's what they do, clicking it up. Bulldog and Shawn start chain wrestling. There's some good combos in there. They did some cool stuff with their feet, and like Bulldog was flailing. And immediately when I saw this, I was thinking like, yeah, I think these two are going to carry this match.
Yeah, I think Bulldog did a lot to make Shawn look great here. It wasn't just Shawn, so
yeah,
take that for what it's worth.
Michaels spills Bulldog out, and then Yoko hits a sneak attack. Shawn taunts Yoko with his poses once he gets back in the ring for like ever, and they just like stand at each other and do the sumo thing. But obviously Shawn's too quick once they try and lock up, and Shawn runs into a back elbow from Yoko. Yoko slams Shawn and misses an elbow, so they get a hot tag to Diesel early. Yoko kills Diesel's vibes with a fly, but then Diesel hits the ropes, gets a flying clothesline, and big boot. Bulldog really getting some stuff in, like outside. Like he starts hitting Diesel, and then gets tagged in. So so Diesel and Bulldog are in the ring, and Bulldog botches the first stalling suplex where he doesn't really like hurt Diesel, but he just realizes, oh shit, like I can't hold him any longer. So he's kind of like let's go, and he just like falls back down, and they just repeat it, but this time he hits it. I was like, seems pretty lackadaisical, but okay. They didn't try to work around it. They just
was impressive though.
It was
seeing him get him up,
right, because I mean he is legit. Nash is a legit 7 foot like big dude. And then Diesel regains control. He hits his corner elbows, running clothesline in the corner, tag, the cool crossbody where Shawn stands on Diesel's shoulders, and there's a near fall. Davey crotches Michaels with a power slam. Shawn's on the outside. Bulldog throws him in back into the ring. Michaels corner up like an over thing, basically the flare thing, but with Shawn, where he goes up and over, whatever. And then Yoko is just gaining the upper hand, working Michaels outside. So Bulldog has the upper hand. Huge back body drop on Shawn. Michaels near fall with the sunset flip. It's just back and forth all match, really. There's some great stuff. Bulldog. So Yoko gets tagged in, and he's in control. And Bulldog just grabs Fuji's Japanese flag and starts waving it, and the crowd starts booing. And here come the ginormous USA chants. Basically, lasts the rest of the match. Yoko misses the bonsai drop, and immediately I thought, like, dude, if Shawn, because like you normally in the bonsai drop, right? Like Yoko takes care of whoever he's about to hit, but this one it's like Shawn's supposed to move, so he lands like flat on his ass. So if Shawn doesn't move, like he probably would have actually like died, because dude, I can't imagine. Now here come the huge USA chants. You get the hot tag. Diesel starts getting the upper hand. Diesel hits his 5 moves of doom with like the elbows and the snake eyes thing, sidewalk slam. Yoko falls on Bulldog. Big boot by Diesel.
That got a huge pop when he fell on Bulldog.
It did. Samoan drop by Yoko onto Diesel, but he barely did that because
Diesel's good job, Diesel.
Yeah. Super kick. Shawn hits to Yoko. Bulldog hits a big slam, and then to Diesel. Shawn comes off the top, and then it's to like interrupt the pin. And then who runs out, bruh? It's Owen Hart. And then, so keep in mind, guys, this match was between Yoko, Bulldog, Shawn, and Diesel. Owen runs in, goes for a top rope move. Diesel just punches him in the gut after he misses basically an axe handle. Diesel jackknifes him and then pins Owen Hart and wins.
And the ref counted it.
Like Owen Hart was in the match the entire time. And that's the match at 15:42. Official match.
New tag champs.
And the Clique has all the belts, but only 2 members, not 4 members. Two members have the belts.
They're 4 lads with straps, or what was it?
4 chaps. 2 chaps with 4 straps.
2 whatever. Oh chaps God. And lads, dude. So this basically, technically, was a 3-on-2 handicap match,
right?
According to Vince's booking.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Except all time, the whole time they were telling us that only one person can fill in for Owen. If you're gonna have Owen get pinned anyway, maybe just put him in the match.
Yeah. Why do it? Why do any of it?
Oh God. Thank God the Bret and Lafitte match was not touched.
if the Bret and Lafitte match was not on this, this would be complete trash.
It would literally
Seriously.
be like a 0 pay-per-view out of 10. That's out of 10. Not out of either way. I guess it'd be 0 because 0 times whatever is 0. But dude, oh my god,
I just can't believe that they spent all that time building this storyline.
dude,
Oh yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, Cornette faked everybody out. Oh,
you know Cornette had to be pissed too backstage with his realism and like his like old school thing. You know he had to be like, why are you making me look like everyone in this match look like a clown?
mm-hmm.
Oh my god, Vince is just.
Oh, I can hear Corny going off.
Oh my god, it doesn't. It literally because it and dude, and it's the second time. The thing that's bad is Kid tried to pin someone illegally.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the second time we saw something like this. It's just this one counted.
Like,
So
I'm not expecting any follow up on this.
No, I think this is just boom, end of feud. They have the belts.
Yeah, but God, I sure hope somebody says something on Raw because this was just.
God.
I couldn't believe. Like, I thought Owen was going to come in and screw Diesel.
Me too.
But he got pinned. Like, when he jackknifed him and then covered him, I'm like, wait a minute. What?
Like, I was okay with Owen running in because that's like the ultimate swerve, right?
Right, yes.
But then, once he started going for the pin, it makes Diesel look stupid too because it's like you should know not to pin him because he's not in the match.
Right.
Oh
It made it to me. It made him look as stupid as 1, 2, 3 Kid, but he got the pin, so I guess he's not stupid. I'm stupid.
We're stupid for watching this.
3-on-2 handicap, baby.
See,
Wow.
There's ways around stupidity, and they just try to just go right through the stupidity and avoid all the ways around it. Like, I don't get it, man. Vince is just insulting people's intelligence.
Like, dude, imagine you're Owen, right? And you show up to the show, this show here. Vince is like, I got it, pal. This is going to be great shit. Listen up. You're not going to be in the match. We're going to build it all night long, and then you're going to run in and get pinned.
Dude, I would just be like,
what would you say?
I'd be like, I know you're paying my bills, but I can just go to WCW and get paid. Like fire me if you want, but I refuse to look like an idiot. Dude, it's so bad. Like, what are they going to say on Raw the next night? I don't understand where they could go with this. I think I'm assuming it builds to another breakup of Diesel and Shawn, but I don't know if it does. Like, I don't. Oh man, dude. Oh man.
I thought, for a fleeting second when he ran in, I thought, are they, because it happened so quick.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought to myself, is this where Owen and Bulldog get together?
Yeah,
like as champs.
Right, they do that at some point, I think.
Right, but it wasn't this, obviously.
It's so stupid. Maybe this is the way, because remember Yoko goes on the thing for his weight. Maybe this is, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Because no part of this is clear other than the fact that, like, Diesel and Shawn are our best 2 wrestlers in the company. Bret excluded, obviously. And so we're just going to put, everything on them.
Right.
So it's just all bad. Guys, this pay-per-view is a 0 out of 10.
Yeah, this is not good. Yeah, needless to say, Fall Brawl destroyed this.
And that's WCW has yet to lose.
Which,
anything we've reviewed so far, they've yet to lose.
Yep.
It's like, okay, obviously the feet match and Bret was awesome. But you take that out of the equation, and it's absolute garbage, top to bottom. And that sucks. It really does. But that's the truth. We have yet to get Taker, too, bro. When are we going to get some Taker?
Well, we're getting Taker tomorrow night on Raw, apparently.
Sick. Just for him, for some BS finish, I bet.
Probably. Can't wait.
So I guess it's, like, I mean, I don't know what else to say other than 0 out of 10 on this pay-per-view. I don't think we need to say anything else.
I don't know. I don't think it should be a 0 because I think Bret and Lafitte should get it on the scoreboard. Maybe 2. What? Maybe a 2. Ay. What a waste of time. Like, imagine watching this live and that's how it ended.
If any of you are in the, like, older generation, you guys saw this live, whether as kids or whatever, I'm sorry you had to deal with this. I can't imagine how I would have felt live, for real. like I just can't believe that they would do this in their main event that they've been building forever. Apparently,
Yeah.
Like even before we started watching, they were building this.
I just can't believe he took the pin, man. He wasn't in the match.
He was illegal.
If somebody did this today, again, like you said, imagine if Twitter was a thing.
Yeah.
Like imagine Twitter at this now.
If this happened in AEW, they would lose 500,000 viewers. Which is most of the base, but yeah.
Hashtag cancel WWE Network.
Hashtag cancel it. Cancel. All right, I guess let's just go to our classic star promo and match of the show. I think well, I don't know about promo, but I think
promo's gonna be tough.
I think we know about the other two, right?
Yes.
Like star and match. So star Bret, match Bret versus Lafitte, right?
Right.
Are we in agreement there?
Yes.
I mean, there wasn't really any promos. I guess
Backlund was the only real promo, but I think the Cornette spot where he was going over the rules with Gorilla, I thought he was pretty good there. Like,
yeah, he's good.
So can I get another partner? You tell me I can get another partner or not? You know, that whole thing. That was probably like the best.
Yeah, I think Cornette just takes the overall like promos of the night, which I guess isn't really unexpected. It just sucks because it spits on Shawn's talent and Nash's talent and Yoko and Owen's talent and Bulldog's talent. It spits on their talent. It's not like if he would ever complain that like, oh, I didn't have enough talent back in *95. It's like bullshit, dude. Look at your card. Like you're just not using anyone. Taker's not even on this. Goldust hasn't debuted. You have I think Hunter wrestled a dark match on this, right? Like you have you have Kid not wrestling, you have Razor, like you're just not using them. I don't care what people would say if they're like, oh, no one drew. It's like, well, yeah, because it's Vince.
You remember wrestling with Shadows when Bret got the initial deal and then Vince backed out of it?
Yeah.
Like there's a spot in wrestling with Shadows where he talks to Vince on the phone, hangs up, and he talks to his wife, and he's like, financial peril.
I got to think about everything.
Financial peril. That's what he said. Company's in financial peril.
I just got to think about everything. Can we cut this off now?
Yeah. No wonder why they were in financial peril.
Pal.
Oh yeah. It was the steroid trial. Yeah. Oh yeah, pal.
No, it's called you are having Bret Hart wrestle pirates. and
somehow pulling a great match out of his ass.
Bret is the most valuable part of this company right now. And it's
100%.
It's insane that Vince legit said he couldn't pay the best part of his company.
Yeah, he would be my star of the night, I think, overall.
He's definitely my star of the night. But yeah, I mean, anything else you got to say about this? Because
all I got to say is WCW is on a roll.
For life. But yeah, I guess that pretty much wraps it up.
Yeah.
So this was episode 5 now of M&M. Mm-hmm. If you guys want to see some promo pics of us posing like Joey Mercury and Johnny Nitro and Melina, we'll do that because M&M. Remember, we'll get the trench coats and the big fur coats and everything.
I'll do it. I'm not afraid.
I'll 100% do it.
I want to be Johnny though. Can I be Johnny?
I guess.
Yes.
I guess I got down my hair blonde. And we need a Melina too.
Yeah, we do.
But yeah, all right. So this was episode 5. This was our full In Your House 3 review. Thanks for listening this far. I would recommend not watching it.
I would say if you're listening, you made it this far. Don't watch the whole thing. Just watch Bret versus Jean Pierre Lafitte.
Exactly. And it's Bret at his best. It's good to see him with mid-carders because you realize how great he actually is. And not taking anything away from Lafitte, it just proves that he doesn't really need much to make greatness out of it. Right. As far as story goes. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Check us out on Podbean. Check us out on Spreaker, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts. Follow us on Twitter. Check out the YouTube. I've been posting the episodes on there. And yeah, pretty much all we got for tonight. Hollywood, say peace to the homies.
Peace to the homies.
Peace, y'all. We love y'all. Appreciate the listens, as always. And we'll see you next week on the Monday Night Marks podcast. Later.